motherfuckers that I'm dealing with, I swear. He caters one evil ass motherfucker, followed by fucking David Rayner and his wife Barbara Rayner, who've all colluded together to get together and try to kill my ass in my sleep, like what happened earlier tonight. Um, they've done something to my physical consciousness where they fucked with it to where I was able to teleport or at least astral project into the astral plane. So to make a long story short, while I was astral traveling, I hate these monitoring spirits. I keep hearing them all around me right now. Anybody who's spiritually sensitive can hear it as well, specifically Guru 5. These evil motherfuckers have all colluded together to try to fuck me up, even going as far as to fuck up my poor spirit guides, spiritual protection, place them in fucking hell realms and all of that. This is, this is just horrible what's happening. So I need a lot of spiritual help. With that being said, I was in the astral plane. And so it seemed like I was in a realm. I had like a small little car that I lived in, very similar to the couple, I quote unquote woke a while back, who had punched the guy who I knew in the face and all of that for no reason after the guy was trying to be nice. And I was searching for shelter, so I found like an Airbnb online. And so, with that being said, I ended up in the semi-hellish realm where I saw these things and they looked like, somebody was saying that they're representative of a curse a long time ago. A guy that I knew. He was saying that they took, from what I saw, they look like ducks and all of that. Animals, like stuffed animals. And that's exactly what got placed into my head when this whole curse started. Now they're trying to fuck with my physical consciousness as I talk. Anyways, with that being said, they turn their victims, past victims, into that. They call them psychopaths. And that's what they call them. And I believe that they're representative of the mind state of Barbara Rayner. She hated her childhood. She got molested and raped when she was growing up or something, from what I heard from them Roach attachments. They call them Roach attachments, by the way. So with that being said, I was in the astral plane. And I remember trying to get like an Airbnb to stay in and all of that. They keep coming into my head, man. I wish I can find that fucking Guru 5 motherfucker because he's like the main fucking leader behind this shit, causing all this shit to happen. So these evil ass motherfuckers, sadistic motherfuckers, can keep me in this realm and feed off me. With that said, the young lady who I rented from, who I brought the Airbnb from, refused to give me my money back. Turns out I couldn't stay there. She came there. She was mixed race. At first she was white, then she was mixed race, which is how people look in the astral plane. And she was there with her Asian husband. These evil motherfuckers, man, they trying to really fuck with my shit. It's some evil ass motherfucking shit. I can hear Barbara out there right now talking like, "You never escaped this curse." I'm dealing with some evil shit, man. Some really sinister, evil, sadistic shit. They've even tried to overpower God, and that's a fucking problem. I have a major problem with that. With that being said, in the astral, with that being said, I was traveling and I saw somebody playing music or something, doing stand up, really playing music. So I was about to sleep on a cot, a bed in the back. It looked like a cellar, like a wine cellar. And that's when I saw them psychopaths as part of that curse coming up on the top bunk and trying to grab the toys. No, not grab the toys, but grab this pillow in which I think my astral body was lying on. And it had there listed the protection of my ancestors. Then it changed to John Candy, who's already dead, which, to me makes me think that they're trying to disguise me as John Candy in the astral plane and put me in a place where I'm fucking dead already so that they could take my soul. These evil ass motherfuckers, he, Kate Barber, and David Rayner. Before then, I felt what I thought or heard what I thought was my spirit guide that turned into a former spirit guide called Eden. And me and her fought. And I was able to get rid of her. I'm finding out these people create entity attachments of people that they got stuck in hell realms. All throughout, when I was going into various rooms trying to find, I forgot what it was I was trying to find. Somebody was fucking with me. They sent like a fat white girl, but I sent she's a Latina in the physical to fuck with me. I saw a hell realm, which is great, which I've seen before through my third eye in the astral plane. And I saw what looked like the crosses that crows are placed on. And I saw my poor dad. I felt he was there, and I felt if I was to walk in there, it was like filled with cockroaches. I've seen it before where people are surrounded by and get eaten by fucking cockroaches alive. That's where they currently have my father. That's where they place him. They took a substantial number of my spirit guides' spiritual protection down there as well. I'm gonna keep talking about this. I think it's vital to keep talking about this. With that being said, they trying to drill holes in my fucking head and all that shit. But with that being said, I went down there. I left from there. I was scared to venture there because I just knew instinctively if I did, I would be trapped. And I couldn't do it in the state in which I was in. So I left from there and started fucking with my memories really bad. This is some nasty shit that they put on me. You know, they attach things to your consciousness that manifest almost partially in the physical plane to harass you and to fuck with you. And, you know, I feel it. This is more than just like regular entity attachments. This has gone too far with what's being done to me and other people, what I'm experiencing. That's why I need a lot of spiritual help. My own spiritual help needs a lot of spiritual help. They're trying to intimidate me right now by fucking with pieces of my consciousness, parts of my consciousness. That's vital for my survival. They intimidate me in the silence. David Rain and Barbara Rain and these monitoring spirits don't like me talking about them. So, anyways, I was going from room to room, and in each room was like a hell realm. I'm trying to do soul rescue right now as I talk. These are some devilish ass fucking things. I feel them grabbing, you know, cords, oh, cords connecting me to my consciousness right now, man. It's scary. And CK doing that shit. I'm not sure. I think it's more than likely David Rayner. So, anyways, I was venturing from room to room. And as I was venturing from room to room, I mean, even my fucking lips are bluish. I look like I'm near death. I saw various hell realms where people were being held captive, you know, by David Rayner, Barbara Rayner. Their hell realms in the astral plane. I saw Rosie's, the entity attachments, hell realm, and all of that. So, anyways, at one point, I go into one room and there's Lil Wayne and all of that, and they're doing like a whatchamacallit deal, a record deal. I was told in that timeline in which Rosie stole on August 22nd, 2022, she supposedly has like a hold on. To make a long story short, I saw him, Lil Wayne. I saw, what was that man's name? Suge Knight. I saw them all, and they were trying to do a record deal with me. And I was parked in the parking lot that reminded me a lot of the hospital where my mama worked when I was very, very young. With that being said, I woke up and, my spirit guides have been with me through all of this torturous endeavor, poor people. I had to help them in the middle of the night because I'm thinking it's Hike who did this. They were eaten by pallet number 8. And this motherfucker, like before, did that, and I was able to get an opportunity to open up for me. I noticed, I got like a call from somebody. I don't want to talk into too much details because you never want to, discuss your blessings. But, to make a long story short, I was able to get a blessing, but I felt empty. I knew that there was something wrong. And, I saw in the spirit plane through my third eye that pilot number 8 had devoured my two, my spirit guides who were working with me. And I'm like, he's been trying to fucking do that. Usurp my spirit guides, my higher self, even going all as far as my highest self, so that he can take me over and take over my consciousness fully and turn me literally into fucking practically what they call a roach attachment, an insect that roves on instinct. So with that being said, I was able to, pull them out. This is some evil ass shit that I'm surrounded by, and I can't stress that enough. I really can't stress it enough. This is some real evil, fucked up ass shit that I'm around. Now, see, this is how the bag should be. But yet, twice when I tried to bag my stuff, this is what happened. I have something really fucking evil attached to me. that's trying to block me from being able to get rid of it. For the past couple of days, I've been working on getting rid of it. And this shit that feeds off the misery and all of that has been getting me into altercations with people. That's why I say, God bless you, miss. Have a good day. You too, miss. That's why you should watch who you talk shit to. Twice I ran into motherfuckers that were under the influence of bad entities, and we all know I got some bad shit on me. So the way this shit that I got on me works is they like to infest other fucking people. So they get me into, they influence people to fuck with my ass for no motherfucking reason so that I can infect them with the shit that I currently got on me. Oh God. Just heard something right now. So with that being said, watch you talk shit to. Evil ass motherfucking curse that I'm under. I swear up and down. Basically, it's a curse that really deeply affects your consciousness, in which astral parasites, and it's, a number of them, they remind me of computer programs when you think about it. As a matter of fact, this whole fucking thing reminds me of the fucking Matrix when you think about it. The way in which our fucking minds, consciousness, our bodies in the astral plane are hardwired to like little machines in the astral plane that connects us to our ancestors and all of that. I know it sounds schizophrenic, but schizophrenics be on the fucking mark about shit. They just are made to look crazy by evil spirits like myself. With that being said, this shit is straight up a curse of the consciousness. They've literally gotten down to the wire with my motherfucking black ass. To make a long story short, what happens is that these two evil ass motherfuckers, Barbara and David Rayner, and from what I heard, other people as well, they got a whole little game that they work with. They interject into your pineal gland super sentient astral parasites that come from a roach realm in the astral plane. And what they do is that they devour your consciousness bit by bit, little by little, or more by more, depending on how sensitive you are to the spirit realm and all of that, and how much, work you try to put in to getting rid of them. The more you try to get rid of them, the fiercer and worse they get. But anyways, they put super sentient astral parasites into you, usually through your pineal gland, or if they want to be more sadistic and crude, through your third eye, which is what they did with that girl Rosie, who stole my timeline in my body on August 22nd, 2022. Then from there, what happens is that they start to devour your consciousness and then become it. And then over time, what they do is that they try to get your consciousness down to a point where, in some instances, they'll wipe your memory clean. Not just your memory, but your consciousness, like a fucking clean slate. They try to get you down to a point like they did myself, where you can be pulled out of your body. When your consciousness is gone, people talk a lot about the soul leaving your body, but it ain't really about the soul, it's about your consciousness. When your consciousness leaves your body, that's when you die. And that nearly happened to me a couple of days ago. That's what I was talking about that night in that vision. They had me down to a point where, oh, God, now they fucking with me right now. They nearly got me down to a point where I literally had no consciousness left. Well, I had, not no consciousness left, but to the point where my consciousness Oh God, man, this is. I got shit that's fucking with my consciousness and using it to fucking this is some sadistic ass shit that I'm fucking dealing with. These evil ass things don't like me talking about them, I swear. What they're doing is that they're fucking with my consciousness and trying to do things to get me, well, not even me, really. It's them fucking with my head. Ah, shit, man. And trying to manipulate my consciousness to get me to harm myself, fuck up myself, but not really. It ain't me. It's these sadistic ass little entities doing it. And they're trying to scare me and intimidate me into silence, into not talking about them. But anyways, with that being said, this is a curse of the consciousness. What these things do is that they get interwoven and they, I'm trying to think as to how they operate. The way it works is they put entity attachments, I believe, that's designed to connect their consciousness to it so that without physically in the astral realm speaking, being in you, they can talk through you and manipulate you and move shit around and roll through your consciousness. Like what I've been feeling, it's literally a living nightmare because it's a curse that masquerades as schizophrenia, but it's anything but. With shadow people, for instance, you can experience physical fucking scars that you can show people, hey, I'm getting fucked with, I'm getting harassed. Roach attachments, like what I'm dealing with, don't fucking do that. These evil sadistic motherfuckers demand on being fed through misery, grief, pain, and suffering. And that's exactly what their setup has been all along for me. That's why, they do it in like degrees. Palette number, they set up palette number, for instance, that's a roach entity attachment. I believe it was originally a cockroach that is designed to eat and then house all of your memories and your consciousness to a fucking T perfectly. And that's exactly what that bitch does. From there, he can go in and infiltrate to a degree where he can block your timelines, to where he can block your blessings. And that's how they try to get you to sign a soul contract, David and Barbara Rayner, who have these astral parasites operating outside within the confines of their consciousness as well, which they besought upon other fucking people. They wish to target, to energy harvest off of, cultivate, or kill, which is what their objective is with me. But they can't kill me because I'm protected by God. When you deal with them, for the most part, hey, how you doing, sir? For the most part, they come off as antagonistic. That turns a lot of people off. But in my case, with somebody clever and as spiritually powerful as myself, they approach me by being funny and by communicating with me, by telling me, things that's on the horizon that, I'm headed down towards, and giving me a heads up on things. these roach attachments pretty much ingratiated themselves as my friends. Knowing that, I'm a lonely person, I stay to myself. Before all of this shit started, I was really big on getting into the spirit realm and all of that. So from there, after establishing energy cords with you through friendship ties, these things started to infiltrate slowly but surely different aspects and parts of my body. Getting into it, getting into energy signatures, infiltrating that, getting into your whole consciousness. Like what almost happened. One of their roach attachments, well, the main one, Palinumbre, was about to take full control of my consciousness as I was exercising him from out of my body, out of my consciousness. And so, it took me having to call on my higher self, but externally, as well as God externally, because again, as I say before, we have God, Jesus, and all of that live within us as entity attachments. I couldn't go within because my consciousness is compromised. When your consciousness is compromised, the God within, the Jesus within, all that shit gets compromised. Don't believe that new age bullshit of, you just go within and deal with a fucking curse like what I got to fucking deal with, and you understand exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. So from there, I had to call on that. I had to call on ancestors and pretty much extricate this shit from out of my body. These things will try to do little things like, for instance, I mentioned my ancestors just now and try to move them out, as I'm talking, as I'm busy talking. That's how these roach attachments operate. I saw that these things, the main astral parasites that I be hearing speaking outside usually, that they were somehow attached to this. But these things are somewhere in the astral realm. From what I understand, they've been working on creating entity attachments of myself as they've done with my brother and all of that. And back in my consciousness, I believe that they have an entity attachment machine that's designed to dispatch entity attachments of myself that's designed to fuck up people. And I don't like that. So with that being said, the way they work is Palinumbre comes in, takes over your consciousness, takes over your memories and all of that. Anything associated with your consciousness, he devours. He becomes it. From there, the regular Palinumbre, who started off as a spider, I feel like they're going to try to turn into a roach attachment that looks like this. He comes in, and he's a very evil, malicious, sadistic motherfucker. And I believe he's the soul piece. If he's not that spider, he's the soul piece of another victim of theirs, a man by the name of Yahweh, who lives in the astral plane. He starts to really block your blessings and then cultivate every aspect and inch of your consciousness to the point where you're dead inside and where you can no longer live anymore. Like I say, this is an extremely sadistic, sinister fucking curse that is hard to escape from. What makes it so hard to escape from is the fact that, look, we all get memories from time to time. That's how our consciousness works. The minute you meditate or even so much as think of these entities, they come back. They use it as a doorway somehow to be able to come in. And, right now as I talk, the further they burrow into your consciousness, they can manipulate you by creating intrusive thoughts that's designed to basically allow them to be able to come into your consciousness and fuck it up and infiltrate it. Through these things, I've had my spiritual abilities stolen, my timeline stolen in that, and given to the Rainers, who are equally under these things to a large degree. He's not really in control of them, I don't think. These things control him because they're too fucking sentient to be controlled. It's not like what I used to dispatch to people's consciousnesses when I used to curse people back in the day. These things are very fucking smart. They're very fucking clever. And they plot on you. Like what I hear daily, every single fucking night when I hear these things outside. I'm going to show you some right now. They use something like that to connect you to these people so that they can siphon off of your abilities and steal your abilities and steal your timelines and all of that. These things are going to try to fugaboo you into further playing your game. I'm going to tell you how these astral parasites work. They're going to fugaboo you into playing your game by telling you, hey, you know, if you talk about this, if you talk about that, you know, if you do this, if you do that, if you make, you know, one sudden move, like they'll have your consciousness to where if you change one fucking thing, one minuscule thing, it changes your whole reality and it puts you in another timeline. So, you know, in the case of folks like myself, you know, like I said before,
Nancy Graham wanted to tell the story, and sure enough, Nancy Graham said, I've been waiting for this call for 10 years.
On August 22nd, 2022, my timeline got stolen.